Good morning. My name is Christina. On behalf of our pastors and the Board of Trustees, we welcome you to the Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building for our Sunday service. At this time, if you are fully vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask. We also do not allow personal recordings of this or other services, and we appreciate your adherence to that. Please turn off your cell phones if they're not already off. And to begin our service, Mary Lynn will light 3 candles, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit.
Maybe.
You got it. Good job. Thank you so much. And please rise as you are able for our invocation. And take an attitude of prayer. Father, Mother, God, let the light of truth shine in us during this Sunday service and keep us connected with love for the next hour. Amen. Please be seated. Located in your bulletin are our declarations of principles. It's actually on the back. Please join with me in reciting them. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. The healing prayer is also in your bulletin. Please recite it with me. The prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Now, for those of you who would wish to receive a spiritual healing, please go to the next available healer. Healers are sanitizing their hands after each person in case you have concerns. And while the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. So get comfy. So at this time, let your body find a comfortable position. And let your eyes fall gently closed while you enjoy a slow, deep breath. Enjoy the air filling your lungs all the way up to your shoulders. And let your lungs enjoy the exhale as well, releasing any tension. And in the next breath, enjoy the relaxation. Exhale completely and observe the sacred space surrounding you, your body, and touching your neighbors. Imagine that it is the white light of love all around you. And you can feel your neighbor's light touching you, your sacred space. And now you're sharing. And watch the light of love spread out and fill this room with love and light and peace. And we're going to go on a little journey. Imagine now you're on a hillside looking down at the water's edge. The sun is setting and the air has a slight chill. You are perfectly safe and protected. At the water's edge, you see there are shrubs all around. The shoreline is dotted with the beautiful green foliage. And you see the shallow end of the water beginning to freeze, just the edges. You begin to walk to the water's edge and hear the crackle of the ground under your feet as you walk along the hill. Your nose is a little chilly and you feel alive and brisk and present. And the chill of the air sharpens your inner senses. You can hear your breath and your heartbeat. You notice movement near the bushes. They're animals taking shelter for the night. You notice things with your eyes and ears and your inner senses that are natural and beautiful. As the darkness is filling the sky and the air becomes still, you have an opportunity to receive a healing, a blessing, an answer, guidance, an idea that is a stepping stone to a solution. Help that all of your guides and all of your helpers are offering to you. Something that's been on your mind. A remedy for all those things that make you uncomfortable. A cure for being uncomfortable. And if you're looking for an answer to a problem, open up. It is here. Imagine now you are accepting it. In your heart, in your hands, or in your head. Examine the helpful ideas and hold them close. And let your thoughts now go to a place of gratitude. Send your thanks through the darkness and through the chilly air. Think now of the energy of the life beneath your feet in the chilly ground, and feel your connection with the seeds sleeping in the soil, gathering strength and storing nourishment for their coming appearance on earth. Feel the connection with the seeds of your life preparing to blossom in good health, prosperity, and vibrance. In the safety of the dark and the chilly air, new healthy life is getting ready to appear. Enjoy another deep breath and feel it in your belly. Notice there's a tiny spark in your heart center. Feel it warming you, providing inner heat. And sense its golden glow expanding inside of you. Feel the luminous rays reaching up like an inner sun to wrap your heart and flow down your arms and legs, up through your neck, and bathe your brain in the golden white light. Feel your hands and feet tingle with the toasty warmth as you stand among the shrubs at the water's edge in the dark and chilly air. The halo of nurturing heat that is now surrounding and above your head. Feel the sphere of comforting, healing heat move down around you, encircling your body in a cocoon of warmth. Know that you are safe, and the healing powers of both heat and cold bring you balance and wholeness. You are safely rooted into the ground, and that your spirit is free. Know that being in the stillness brings you healing. Stay aware of the light around you and in you. Allow it to penetrate any place inside or outside that needs healing power. Enjoy another breath and feel relaxed, feel safe, feel alive. Enjoy another deep breath and thank Infinite Spirit for this feeling of safety and stillness. And with your next breath, send love and light for anyone whom you are concerned. Enjoy another breath and send love to all of humanity. Share the love and the light. Enjoy another very deep breath. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you, Maestro. We'd like to thank our healers today, Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates, Marie Gates, and Deb Jordan. Thank you for sharing your gift of healing. And if you have received a healing resulting in a correction or an improvement, please complete this yellow card. There's a pile of them in the back of the temple, and give it to our pastor or mail it back. And now the fun part, right? I'm going to introduce Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates, and besides being a magnificent human being, he's an amazing teacher, an amazing healer, a fabulous off-the-hook medium. But I do think his superpower is shining his light bright enough to inspire all of us to think and feel and do a little better and be a little more loving.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to speak today. I spoke this morning in Lyceum about our religion, science, and philosophy, and the religion of spiritualism. Now I want to give you a little bit of the science of the religion, a little bit of science today. And as my journey in spiritualism since I've been about 5, how I've managed through spirit in my life. I remember being 5 years old and my mother taking me to a seance. She said that I was in the seance in the cradle. So I was in a seance when I didn't really know what the seance was. I just happened to be in the energy. My mother would take me and just sit me in a corner of the seance room because she thought that I could bring good energy to the space. So as a child, I spent a lot of my time in darkened rooms in my life. So where the lights were turned down and people were sitting in circle. But I remember the one time that my mother was working very hard with these individuals to try to bring through a little girl, and she had been a spirit that had connected to Chesterfield. Her name was Silverbell. And they wanted to speak to Silverbell. Silverbell wanted to speak to them. So they spent hours trying to get Silverbell to come through, and she did. She manifested, dropped down through the ceiling. She didn't talk to any of the adults. She come back and talked to me in the corner. So when she finished talking, she dissipated. And boy, were the adults mad that she didn't spend time at least coming up to speak to them, because they had spent so much time trying to bring her through. And I think in our lives, we try so hard in our lives to bring spirit through. And usually when they come through is when we're not really trying. When we're really not really wanting them to come through. We're sitting in the bathroom, we're taking a shower, we're doing different things. And we're not really expecting them to maneuver into the room, and here they are. I spent my younger years, as my grandmother had passed a spirit, she appears in the shower. And I go, Grandma, you got to get out of the shower. I'm in the shower, Grandma. And she goes, I've seen you naked before. Doesn't matter, Grandma. Wait for me outside the bathroom. So a spirit will appear in times in our lives, especially when there's running water. Running water works a lot with spirit when you're washing dishes, when you're in the bathroom, when you're watering the grass, when you're doing things with water. Spirit usually there'll be a connection to spirit to come through. So that's why some people have fountains in their house, water running in their house, fountains, water running, allowing spirit to work with the water in the house, work with it. So if you have a meditative space, a very good option is to put some kind of little water fountain, little water situation going on in there. That's why in seance rooms, we bring water into the seance room so spirit can use it. We bring flowers in the seance room so they can have something live within the space. You cut the flowers the day of the seance, and you place them in the room where you're going to have it. And you place water in the room, in the vibration. So they have the water and the live energy within the space. But when I was up in Camp Edna, I just got back from Camp Edna. It's a large camp outside of Bangor. We used to spend a lot of time out in front of the church. And it's actually called the Potato Church. It's got a name to it, Potato Church, because most of the church is underground. So you walk through the front door. A lot of the church is underground. So it was called the Potato Church at one time. Now it's something else. But it's what Camp Edna was actually this magic catalyst for my mother to be up there to attract spirit. And I think spirit up there is very strong because back in the 1920s, they had a very large fire and burnt down almost 100 homes within the night. 100 homes were lost within one night because they were built very close together. I mean, you could reach out your window and shake your neighbor's hand. That's how close the houses were. And almost 100 homes burned to the ground. But the energy of where those homes stood, where the energy was, there's a footprint of what happens when people do things. And when you walk in your house, you make a trail in your house. You go from the chair to the bedroom, to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to your chair, bum, 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 bum. You make a trail. an energy vortex, an energy vibration within your home. Same thing happens on the earth plane. We make energy vibrations. People will tell you that Cassadaga is built on some kind of vortex. Don't believe that. Cassadaga is actually here because it's a circle that's been actually propelled here by a group of spirits that led George Colby here. The only reason the energy of the camp has energy is because of the people who have served and worked here. It actually propels the energy into the space. You can hear people dancing in this. For many, many years, the naval base in Sanford, all the sailors used to come over here and do the weekly dance here in this building. So you would have this music being played in here. The hotel used to be a personal care center, a nursing home. And every once in a while you'll see the older people walking up and down the street from the hotel. So that's where they used to live. They used to be in the hotel as a personal care center. So the question here is, a lot of the energy here is actually brought in by who was here, who walked the property, who was here. So when you feel energy in this space, it's because of what was going on in that space, what was happening in that space at the time, because the energy is left there. The energy is left the vibration. It's like if he brings his dog here every week and that dog lays in that spot really comfortable and really awesome in that one spot every week, you're going to stand over that spot one Sunday and go, whew, I feel good here. This is really nice energy, because the dog left some of its energy. The vibration is we bring energy into a space, whether it's in a seance room, whether it's in a mini mystic reading, whether it's into a healing, we bring the energy into that vibrational space. So when we are looking at a space that we don't feel comfortable with, like we first thought is, oh, I'm not good here, then you should consciously turn around and step out. Not continually sit there and say, I'm going to have to take this. No, continue, just walk around and back out. When I've attended a lot of seances, I got to tell you one I attended, that was a few years ago. And I didn't feel extremely, but I thought my buddy was putting it on, was a medium, a physical medium from overseas, and I thought that I should be here, should help my buddy. So I'm sitting in the chair, but I noticed all the chairs in the room were away from the wall. That worried me a little bit. Wondered why they were away from the wall. My mind started going scientific. There's only one chair in the room that had like wheels on it. That worried me also. Why was there only one chair with wheels on it? So the lights went out. We're in darkness. The only chair in the room that moved was the chair with wheels on it. So then everybody on that side of the room was being touched by spirit. Everybody was going cooing and oohing and ahhing. But I knew what it was. I knew the medium had got up and walked behind people. So as a perfect medium that I am, I moved my chair back to the wall. And I sat there. And I waited till he got almost to me. And he knew I was sitting there. And you could hear him moving very quickly back around all those people to get back to where he was supposed to be. And when the lights came on, I got the dirtiest look from this physical medium. But I knew how the seances were supposed to work because I've spent my life in seances. I spent my life in producing spirit. I know how spirit is supposed to work, how they're supposed to move in the vibration, how the energy is supposed to transpose within the space, how trumpets work, how direct voice works. I love it today when people say, oh, I've got this little radio and I'm going to play this thing and it's going to go through all these channels. It's going to give you a couple of voices. Back in the day, we heard the voice bellowing from the corner of the room. We didn't have a radio. We had direct voice from the spirit world talking to us from somewhere in the room. It was not a machine, it was spirit. And you knew it was spirit. You knew it was no maybe that was spirit, it was spirit. And I've always had that connection of maybe doing a little bit old school with mediumship, but I want to be able to experience it. I want to know that that voice is my mother or my father speaking from the corner of the room. I want to see apports come in the room. You know, I have an apport in my office that got dropped in my office, an Egyptian bracelet. You know, the Egyptian bracelet went missing from one of the museums in Egypt. It's in my office. They gave it to me. It's mine now. It's in my office. It's mine. Came from the spirit world in my room. Mine. I didn't ask the person to go to Egypt and steal it. He decided to give it to me. But I love it when I have apports in my seances and people will scurry around and grab them all. I never get any of them. I never receive any. They're all gone. They're disappeared. But that's good. I want them to experience spirit dropping things in the room. But remember, if you're in a seance and apports drop into the room, the apport vibration should be warm to touch. Because it has to manifest itself through the spirit world all the way to our world and manifest itself here. So it has to be warm to the touch. If it's cold, it didn't come from the spirit world. Warm to the touch. Warm. So you have to realize that spirit is a way of producing things in our lives, whether through physical or spiritual in our lives, to help us, to encourage us on our journey. It is never, to explain this, I want to keep explaining this to people, it is never the destination in your life. That has already been chosen for you. I had a gentleman over in Clearwater told me the last time I did a service over there, he says, well, you're trying to tell us that our lives are preordained. Well, aspects of it are. You got to meet certain people. You want to meet your soulmate, you're going to have to cross paths with them. If you want to meet certain people have to arrive in your life so you can affect them, so they can also affect you. So there's avenues in your life you have to be at a certain place to meet this individual. So some of your life is preordained because you made a decision from the other side to help others, to help the universal energy, to help your energy, but also to help the universal. So some of it's preordained. It is never the preordained, the destination. It is the journey. It is always the journey and how you arrive at the destination. It's how you want to arrive. Kicking and screaming, full of duct tape and dragging across the finish line, it's up to you. I don't want to be in a ball when I get to the spirit world going, God, that was awful. I want to be okay. So the question is, I ask my guides, I explain to them what I'm looking for. And when I teach my class, I tell people, you should understand who 3 of your guides are. I know people have guides that they want to know all their guides. Oh my God, I want to know every one of them. 3 of them. It's your gatekeeper, your guardian, your physician, your alchemist, the one that creates things for you. Those are the 3 you should be on full name basis with. The rest of them, they'll come and go. They'll wander in and out as you need them. But those 3 will stay constant within your life. They will. So you figure out who they are, who their vibration is. How are they working for you? You want stuff in your life? You better get on a first name basis with the alchemist. You want physician? You want health? You want balance in your life? Talk to physician. You want protection in your life? You want somebody to guard the gate? Talk to the gatekeeper. But these are people that you chose before you got here to manage you on the path. I've had guides appear in seances rooms. People know the story. My father died. I had his wedding ring with his name engraved in it. I had it cremated with him. And in a seance, through a trumpet, that ring came out of the trumpet and landed in my hand, and I could hear my father say, I don't need this over here. Keep it. And his wedding ring fell out in my hand in a seance. So I've seen some things in seances that I mean, you can't say, oh, that didn't happen. It happens. It was there. It was there. I went up to Edna when I did a reading in one of the cottages up there, and a lady was there, and she wanted to speak to her husband. But upstairs in the cottage, you could hear this man banging on the floor. And she goes, who's that? I said, there's not supposed to be anybody up there. And you could hear his voice yell down there and says, I'm not speaking to you because I don't like you. And she goes, That's my husband. But he was banging. But that physical mediumship, when you see it, when you connect to it in this earth plane, you never forget it. When me and my wife do table tipping, and we do table tipping here, and spirit actually communicates with you through the table, you never forget it. It's just this whole like, the feeling of that connection. And that's what really spirit wants you to have, that feeling of connection, either through a relationship with this religion, this spiritualism, or your own personal relationship, your relationship. You don't have to name your religion. You could name it the religion of you. Yours. What word radiates with you. I followed most of my life with my grandmother, who was Roman Catholic, my father, who was a Baptist, Southern Baptist, down in the dirt, Southern Baptist, blood everywhere. Baptist minister right here in Deltona. So, I was born again. I had to be born again. Whew. It was an exciting time in my life when I was young. Sitting in seances and then sitting in vocational Bible school. So there was two aspects of my life that I had to deal with in my life. But I learned from all those religions. I learned from my grandmother being Catholic. I learned from my father being Christian. I learned from my mother being spiritualist. I learned from my grandmother, my other grandmother, who was Native American. So I learned from my relatives. I learned from my parents different aspects of religion. And every one of you through your life have learned from different aspects of religion. You didn't just have one religion cross your path. You've had a few. You've had a few pass your paths, and you've taken from them what you felt would work for you, what would fit the vibration for you. Out of dealing with spirit all these years in my life, I know when I close my eyes here, I will be standing over there. I will be standing in the presence. No matter what I've done on this earth plane, I will be standing there. Where? I might be down in the lower levels, searching around the basement, stoking the... No. But I will be there. I will be there. And it's where you envision yourself in your life. If you envision yourself being really bad, then it's what you probably will see when you get there. It's what you envision at the last part of your life. When I worked for hospice and worked for people that were dying, and in my life, I probably sat, I think probably over 100 people that have passed to spirit at their time of passion. And I understand that everybody passes to spirit differently. They all make their journey, how they perceive. I've had angels sit in a room with people at the foot of the bed and wait for them to be ready and pull them out of their body and walk out of the room. The best ones I have in my life that I understand is these three guys that come. They have black books. The black books have little gold circles, a large star, and a starburst in the black book. And three of them will sit at the end of a bed and read out of that book. Now, I've tried many years to try to see in that book, see what they are reading. But I noticed that when the person's getting ready to go, two will leave. One will stay and still read out of the book. And even if the person's in a coma and they're completely out of it, their mouth will be moving and talking like they're reciting what they're telling them from the book. And when that person's ready, that person that was left will get up and walk out with them. That has happened about 25 times in people crossing. So I always understood that maybe these people have a special route. Maybe that's something they do for certain people. But I always thought that was kind of cool with the three leather-bound black books with these symbols on the front of them. Always. It surprises me. I've seen people pulled out of the bed with gold hands coming out of the wall and just pull them right to the wall before they passed. But I've also had people decide that they've done something really bad in this life. They've had to work their way into heaven. They've had to suffer through something. And it comes to a point that they are moving. They're still going to the spirit world, but they're doing things to try to get themselves there. But it's the thought, the vibration. I had a gentleman that was a friend of my father's who was a Baptist minister, and he knew that he had to cross the Crystal Sea. That's where he knew he was going. But when I touched in with him and went where he was standing there at this water. He goes, see, I told you, Crystal Sea, look, crystal. And I got a little surprised. I said, really, Crystal Sea, okay. But this boat was coming. He said, oh, it's Jesus. He's coming. He's coming for me. Hey, Jesus is here. As soon as the boat got closer, it was his brother. Brother came to pick him up, take him across the sea. But he had to see that sea to make him feel comfortable of going. And when we pass the spirit, we have to be comfortable of what we see. The spirit world is a lot like this world, a lot like it. A lot like the houses, the different things. It's a lot like this space, just a lot higher vibrational. But it's a lot like this place. We're not going to be thrown off balance when we get there because we're going to see familiar territory. Familiar images, familiar people that we've known on this earth plane. So we will see familiar situations that don't throw us too far off balance. Some of us don't want to see it. That's why we stay in a certain series of vibrations, so spirit can nurture you, help you, teach you, instruct you to get you to the other side. We can pray people and send energy out to people that have passed the spirit, but it is the guides, the master teachers, the instructors, the ones that actually instruct you and bring you to the other side. Not me. I might send you a lot of prayers, but you will continually learn and progress from teachings from the other side. And while we're on this earth plane, we have to try to expel those vibrations, those teachings within our lives. What are you teaching yourself? What are you expecting? We get older. A lot of people come to this religion because they're older. Getting ready to punch their bus ticket, getting ready to take the ride. So, you want to know where you're going. So you got an idea. You want to go to Spiritualism, you want to figure out where you're going. It's still that personal communication with spirit, that communication with spirit. It's how they're communicating with you, communicating with your vibration. How do you see it? How do you envision it? My guide told me many years ago that we all left our own little personal village on the other side. Somebody in that village lit you a candle, put the candle in a window. You ventured down the path this world. The whole time that you're here, 40, 50, 80 years, doesn't matter, someone is nurturing that candle. They're looking after it for you. But eventually, when you close your eyes here, you will end up on that path, that same path you ventured out on, that same exact path back into the village, where they can produce the candle for you, and you can put it out. But the candle is burning for you over there. It is always burning. It is always being nurtured by a group of spirits while you are here. Because you had made the journey to make that journey here. Here, to this dark world, this vibrational world, to get our lessons, get our vibrationals done. And people will have this whole attitude in their life that, I got karma. I must have done something really bad. We in here in Cassadaga say, the spirit forces us to be here. We must have did something really bad in the past life. I mean, they've got us here. We can't get out. It's like Hotel California here. We're here, can't get out. But we're placed in positions in our lives where we're needed. Where we're needed in the group consciousness. So things that happen in your life, things that you perceive like, oh my God, that was awful. What if it really wasn't for you? What if it was to help the conscious energy, the universal energy? It was to maneuver the universal energy, place that where it needed to be. Maybe that was the whole story. I love that bumper sticker. It says, what if the hokey pokey was all what it was all about? What if that was all there was to it? And we're just making it too serious. It's too serious stuff. When I first came out to camp, when I moved back here, that was back in, moved back here. God, I think my wife and me bought a house in the early 90s, but I mean, we'd been coming out of here for quite some time. But I was sitting down near Spirit Pond, and this guy was sitting down there. It's about 10 o'clock at night, glowing. I said, oh, this is cool. So I get out and talk to him. I said, I'm going to talk to this guy. He's down glowing. So I start talking to him, and he precise to tell me that he was a crosser. I kept figuring out what that was. I didn't know what that was, so I'm done listening to him. So he walked me up Marion Street. He stood in Marion Street. He goes, nah, not good energy here. So he walked up to the middle of Cassadaga Road, and he's standing there. And I said, what do you mean by crosser? He said, we stand in roadways within the world, and we balance the energy, because the roads, the ley lines run out throughout the world, and we, as crossers, stand and balance the energy in the ley lines. And he stood there for a little bit, and he kind of just dissipated and walked off into the mist. He just dissipated. And I thought that was the coolest thing, that he was going to align the energy. We have spirits on the other side that have certain jobs, certain situations that they do. And we need to be informed of what is going on with us. If it's health, it's your physician. If it's prosperity, growth, relationships, anything else, it's your alchemist. If it is something that you need protection, you're trying to keep people at bay, then gatekeeper. Because sometimes we have to realize that we might not be where we need to be. We might not be there. We're there mostly because of other people, family, situations, things in our lives. We're not there for us. Some people move to Florida to take care of their aging parents. Then they get here and they can't get out. Can't get out. They're here. Well, they're done. We're here. We had to take care of mom and pop. Now we're here. We get stuck here. Instead of looking at different avenues or different roadways, we just decide ourselves to be stuck. Instead of asking for information. And as spiritualists, I really want you to ask for information. I want you to ask your higher self. Ask your vibration. Are you where you need to be? My guide, Lucerne, who trances through me, he told me quite a while ago, he said the best thing anybody can ask of your guides is just to quiet your mind, quiet your vibration, and say, is there something I've missed, something I should be looking at, something I should be doing? Please show me. He said it covers all bases. It does them to understand that we want to know where we are on the path. You may be off in the corner of the path. People might be chasing you with bamboo sticks. You need to get back to the center of the path. They'll show you. You might have situations going on in your life that you need to clear or regroup or rebalance from. See, everything about our lives is this connection to spirit. As a spiritualist, I've been in this religion my whole life. I just strictly deal with spirit. I listen to spirit. I do things that they tell me to do. I understand the vibration. When I got out of the service, I was not coming back to Florida. There was no way in the world. It's too hot here. I was never coming here in my life. So I ended up on the tarmac, and my guide says, got to get on that plane. I said, where? Where's that plane going? He said, Fort Lauderdale. I'm going, pfft. He said, you'll have to go. You'll have to go. I said, okay. On the plane I got, didn't cost me anything. It deadheaded from Groton, Connecticut down into Fort Lauderdale. So I get to Fort Lauderdale, and my guide says, you'll meet somebody here. His name's Max. He's going to help you. He's going to offer you a job. And I'm going, this is stupid. So I'm sitting at the bar having a drink. And then all of a sudden, this guy says, his name's Max. I go, okay, guys, okay. All right, getting scary now. All right, okay, Max. Max looks, he says, oh, I work a large mobile home park over here in Fort Lauderdale. I need a maintenance man. Would you like to work maintenance? I said, yeah, might as well. It's a job. Yeah, might as well. So anyway, I ended up doing maintenance at this large mobile home park on the Indian reservation there and over there. And living about 2 houses up from the maintenance shed was my wife, Marie. So I had to get to where she was. I had to go where she was because she wasn't going to go find me somewhere up north. So I had to get to where Marie was. So, and that's how Spirit does things. They maneuver you. They try to close doors and maneuver you through one door. And when we fight, Spirit says, oh my God, okay, you go ahead and fight, but we're still going to get you there. There's a way to get you there. So there are things that happen in our life, because even when we were in Fort Lauderdale and we had a house, and we weren't going to move. Me and Marie didn't. We liked the house. Spirit said, "You're moving. Got to move soon. Got to move." I said, "No, we're not moving." So we go to the movies, get back home. House is burnt to the ground, covered by fire trucks. I can hear my guides go, "We saved the important papers. They're in that box over there, but rest of it gone. You'll replace it. You're going to move now, aren't you?" Yes, we are. So Spirit has a way of moving us, placing us where we need to be. So everything in our lives is a movement. As we get older, though, when you get older in this life, you understand that it actually is, some of it is preordained. You look back and go, whew, had to meet them. Whew, didn't want to, but boy, I had to cross their paths. I had to help that person. I had to take on that responsibility. I had to do that because you had to be in that position to do that energy that affected the universal consciousness. So when you're affecting universal consciousness and you're not quite happy with it, if there's something I need to see, something I need to do, please show me. And listen. All we have to do is listen. There's music playing on the other side every moment of every day. I said when we recite the principles and the healing prayer, that has been done since the late 1800s. Every single moment, every service, it has an energy. When you recite things that you continually recite, that you do affirmations in your life, you continue to recite them, there are people on the other side in chorus reciting the same affirmation, the same thought, the same vibration back into your body. So hopefully your thoughts are decent thoughts, good thoughts that you want reverted back into your body. Because you've got 100 people around you reverting the same thought back into you, and this might not be good, you might have a problem. So you need to kind of understand what you're thinking. Do the affirmations. Figure out what you want in your life. What do you need? Spirit will manifest it. You just have to ask them and let them work on that direction for you. And I want to thank you.
Thank you a million times. So hopefully you're a little inspired to be and think and do something a little more. And I want to let you know on behalf of everyone here, I appreciate that you talked about the Declaration of Principles and the healing prayer. Like, I feel connected to every other person that's ever said that. Yeah. So I think you get a point for saying that out loud. That was fabulous. So anyway, so every time we say it, we're connected to everybody that said it before, and that intention and that heart space. So you all get a point too. Thank you so much. All right. So there is a prosperity basket in the back, that beautiful glass bowl, and our live stream viewers may visit the website Cassadaga.org. There's probably a large button. You can't miss it. And thank you for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of the funds are used for keeping the buildings open and keeping the camp running. So I do want to say a little prayer. If you don't mind, take an attitude of prayer. Dear God, we sit in gratitude for the gifts left in the prosperity bowl and on the donation button, and pray for the energy of abundance and joy, and ask that it be showered over each dollar that travels and each giver. Amen. Okay, we have a few announcements. Next Wednesday, August 11th, our message bearer for a demonstration of spirit service will be Deb Jordan. Deb's in the house. And next Sunday, August 15th, the speaker for the Sunday service is Lori Carter. And every Sunday we do have adult lyceum at Sunday school from 9:30 to about 10:15 in the morning in this building, the Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building. And next Sunday, our Lyceum speaker is Pauline Gold. To participate in absentee healing, please print the first name and first initial of the last name of a loved one or even a pet in our healing book at the back on the table there. And every Thursday, a healing meditation circle is held from 11 a.m. to noon in this building, Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building. And healing is sent to all those on the absentee healing list, and everyone is welcome. The service, as well as Sunday Lyceum and Sunday service, are live streamed through our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And at the entrance, we have a Sunday bulletin of all of our activities. Got it. It's actually tucked in like a little treasure in the handout there. Take them home with you. Take one, share it. In August, our healing gazebo will be closed because of COVID. Today's Sunday. Cassadaga Spiritualism Inquiry 101, CSI. I know, right? With Reverend Diane Davis, Reverend Jerry Moore, and Pauline Gold. It's in person and on Zoom today from 2 to 4. It's $30. Come hear information as you discover about Spiritualism 101 from its scientific understandings, both past and current. Let's talk about phenomena, principles, and more. And Reverend Gates was our warm-up for that. And you can also check the website cassadaga.org for monthly information as well as upcoming events. And at this time, we'd like to thank our live stream viewers for joining us today, and we look forward to spending time with you again. Go have a good day.